Thank you.
And we are going out live. Going out live, as I said. This is the day after Christmas. We got the whole crew here. Liz is live from the police station. Actually, probably not in trouble. Hopefully not. But it's AFC East by NAFCo. We're covering week 16, week 17 here today. Liz, how comfy is it in there? It looks like it looks very office-like.
Yes, it is. I'm in the report room. None of the guys are here. They're out on the road fighting crime and looking for no good nicks. And, it's okay right now. It's quiet. So.
See, I used to clean a police station, actually, for the town of Newport government. I had a key that got into every door in the town except for the chief's room. That was the only place I couldn't get into in the town. Yeah. So I did actually have the access to the police station as well. And the thing is, though, is I always remember being in the report room and seeing, like, there was always this whiteboard that always just had, like, a list of, like, a list of problem kids. It was all like these. It was considered like under a minor delinquent list, and it just had like naughty lists of there. And I remember I was only like 19 doing that job, and I remember looking, being like, knowing these people, and being like, "Damn, they're on the list in the police station."
My town is 43 square miles, so that would be quite a list. And my kids grew up in this town, so I would have a lot of. I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like a Santa. It's like a Santa, good and bad people, all right?
Yes, the naughty list and the nice list. Yeah. Correct.
The nice list is just not being on a list. I think is what it is.
Yes, the nice list is blank.
Yeah.
The naughty list is extensive.
Jeff, how's your Christmas going down over there? I see you don't have Miami ornaments up.
No. Wasn't going to put them on until we won, and it didn't happen. So
I got you there. Yeah, well, there you go. So there just was no Miami Christmas tree this year, I guess, is what's happening there. Paul, do you have anything going on for Christmas?
Well, you came by my house today, and I appreciate it, and you saw my tree. And it was pretty awesome.
I didn't even notice your tree. I'm sorry. You were like, look at my shelf. I'm missing 60 pieces from when I finished building.
Yes. It's really. I spent the weather was so bad. I spent the time self-reflecting because I have 2 inches of. I live on a mountain. I have 2 inches of ice on my hill. But somehow you made it up tonight. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. Well, as I was telling you up there, I learned to drive in the winter in New England, so it lends itself to understanding how to drive in the snow quite well. Like you said, you were kind of noticing all the little fish tails and stuff, and I was like pretty nonchalant about it.
You freaking nut job.
So Joe Rogan actually himself has on his stand-up act has a bit. You can always tell somebody that's from Boston. He said, although really just New England, you can tell a New Englander because. Like when they go through, one time he said he was in Boston, he saw a guy fishtailing in a truck through an intersection, and then in the middle of it, he took a sip of coffee.
Well,
and that's
It's pretty good. Jeff and I grew up together, and I'm sorry, excuse my language, but we are pussies when it comes to driving. I just said it's horrible. So, but yeah, we're scared to death in that kind of crap, and I appreciate you coming to get me liquor.
Yeah, and fishtailing her way into the liquor store. Yeah,
you're lucky you don't live in Buffalo. 97 inches so far.
I did that, and 20 people have died so far. So my heart's out for their families. So
yeah, awful, absolutely.
And the Bills just got into town. Yesterday?
They said they had to fly into Rochester, right?
Yeah. So
awful.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Yep.
Anyway, fun things. Oh, personal note, women suck. Just letting you know.
Yeah, well,
Not you, Liz, but in general.
Okay, not me. Thank you.
That's my holiday.
Glad you clarified that.
All right.
Well, men are no better. Just saying.
I always just figure to try to be a good person, but that you always seem to not be able to satisfy everybody.
Correct. You're right. But nobody asked. I had an amazing Christmas. I was with my children. They spoiled me to no end. And the week started out with me sitting in the pouring rain at MetLife Stadium with
Yeah,
my
I saw
youngest
pictures.
daughter.
I'll say I saw pictures of both of these events. I saw you with your daughter out in the awful weather, but almost more notably to me was that Jets onesie you posted. That was some style.
That was freaking awesome.
I was at my oldest daughter's house, and it was Christmas Eve. And I said, children, before we go home, we have to make sure we're in our jammies and ready for bed. So as soon as we get home, we can go to sleep because Santa's coming. And even though my daughters are 29, 27, and 31, I still gave them that speech.
You were such an elf in that picture. I love that picture of you.
Thank you. With my antlers on and everything.
Yeah.
Here's the picture we're talking about, right there on the Facebook there. Yeah, so that's some style, though. I mean, I guess I didn't know. See, until I met you, I don't. Where do you find this stuff? Is this all on NFL.com, or is this like you're just custom?
Fanatics is a great site.
Oh, okay.
Yep, NFL.com, the Jets website. Buy stuff at the stadium. You get a lot from Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, that I got at Fanatics.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I myself, I'm not really having my Christmas till tomorrow. Having duck with my sister, and brother-in-law. I did work through Christmas Eve and Christmas morning actually. But man, the weather, brutal. I mean, and I'll say at my job, it was pretty much staying at the facility because we were it was negative 26 degrees Fahrenheit wind chill in Rockton, Pennsylvania, where I was working. Ugh. So it was, yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of ridiculous. I went out and shoveled, and my hands were beginning frostbite after 2 minutes of shoveling, but because I was a dummy, I didn't bring winter gloves with me. I didn't realize how cold it was gonna get. Usually, I kind of am pretty much fine, but at those temperatures, there was no saving it.
Yeah, it's bad, really bad.
Well, it's cold in Florida, but not as cold.
Yeah, well, how cold is it in Florida?
Cold enough to wear a sweatshirt now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 14 right now at this moment. 14 degrees.
And it's going to be 50.
Without wind chill.
Jersey here will be 50 at the end of the week.
Oh.
Yeah. I talked to Denise tonight, and she said she's freaking out because it's 40 degrees.
Yeah. Down in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. So week 16, we didn't have necessarily a great showing from this group, except for Buffalo. We'll talk about Thursday night football's game here. Liz was at this game yourself, and it was Jacksonville 19, New York 3.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Well,
3 points.
3 points. What did we say last time? You can't win games with field goals. But if that's the only opportunity your quarterback is going to give you, is, you got to get him where you can get him. And Zach, of course, didn't have it. And it was a brutal game to witness. And it was a letdown. And our O-line wasn't up to speed and up to snuff. And it was just pathetic. And I'll be 100% honest. I left early because I said, to my daughter, it's 3 days before Christmas. And I said, let's not have pneumonia and, miss out on Christmas because we sat here in the pouring rain.
That's
And
big.
I won't go anywhere but my seats. And, they're exposed. There's no cover. And, that's
That's
what happened. And, it was very disheartening. And I really thought we were going to do okay,
Oh.
but we did not.
Yeah, well, Jack, what were you guys doing under quarterback today or Thursday rather?
Yeah, Zach came back and didn't have it and didn't make many throws, and the ones he did, he either intentionally grounding or he, just threw them away or whatever. He wasn't, not really any interceptions, but just missing his player every time. And they just announced that Mike White is healthy and he's going to be playing the next game. So.
Oh, really? Okay, that's some news. Like they're basically saying we're giving up on Zach Wilson at this point now. So I think that maybe that was a brutal game, but maybe it was necessary for you guys as a franchise to really establish that, give him that last chance. I think this kind of might have been his last chance, is what I'm hearing here.
But Coach Sala is still standing by him and saying, he did do this good and he did do that good, and we're all just rolling our eyes like, no, we've had enough of him this year, and he's just kicking us when we're down, and he's keeping us down. So Mike White shows a little spark of life for us, and we'll see what he can do out in Seattle.
Liz, where are you guys going to draft next year? Are you looking for another quarterback?
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Oh.
Joe Douglas, our GM, got us everybody but this past year. And I'm hoping for healthy players and, the ones that are injured right now, I want them all back. And, and I hear this baloney about bringing that quarterback from Green Bay. And I'm like, no, we don't need another Flacco. And how much life does he have left in him? You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
So we'll see. I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. Look for a quarterback.
Okay.
Well, I feel like you guys should just stick with Mike White. That's my honest opinion. Just roll in the next year with Mike White. Don't draft. You already have 4 quarterbacks on the payroll right now.
We do. Well, who knows what's going to happen with Zach? I mean, we can't just say bye. You're fired.
Well, you have he's under contract. He's under his rookie deal. What is this, season 2 or 3 for him right now? 3? 3. So he's under contract for another year.
Yep.
We like Mike. We do.
We like Mike too. But, Mike played 2 games and then he was injured for 2 games. So, I mean, it happens to everybody, but it's a crapshoot. I don't know what
concerns over durability basically is what you're getting at there. Yep. It sounds to me like what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how these guys get hit and get back up, but
I know what you're saying there. Some of these hits
don't get back up.
Yeah. Those are the problem times is when they don't. But I would say though that they're some of these hit. I mean, Mike White got hit hard, by Buffalo.
He did.
When he did get injured in the ribs and numerous times.
Right.
Numerous times. So
do you think he bought his O-line some Rolexes for Christmas?
That? No.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't think they'd accept any gifts from him. I think they're kind of tired of him.
Yeah, well, and Mike White definitely wouldn't have been giving gifts after the performance they had in Buffalo there.
No.
All right.
Well, over in Chicago, there was a cold outdoor game there with Buffalo, though, just wailing on Chicago. Paul, I noticed this game was fairly close up until the end there in the 4th quarter. That's really when Buffalo took off with this.
Really? Their quarterback is a great quarterback. He ran for 7 times for 11 yards for the whole game. They had a great first drive, and that's it. We just shut them all down. And minus 20-degree weather. So we got 35 points on them. Really, it's Chicago. it's not Kansas City. So, but we took care of business, and that's what it is. I don't know.
I heard he was hurt. Was it Justin Fields?
Yeah, Peterman came in. I mean, a former Buffalo Bills quarterback. He came in. It just was embarrassing. He threw up all over himself. I just.
And Fields, so
we all beat Chicago, right?
no, the Patriots lost to Chicago.
Are you serious? My bad. All right.
Yeah,
I thought we did.
in New England on
Okay.
Monday Night Football. It was.
I apologize. So
Yeah, this year was. I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute.
it was
New
trying.
England, Cincinnati.
I
New
got. I
England
thought you
has-
guys did. My bad.
Yeah, New England's had a rough year,
No.
but Chicago, though, to keep for Buffalo to keep Justin Fields to 11 yards on 7 carries that's pretty impressive because I mean I guess they really haven't quite contained from that statistic.
Well, outside the first drive they had, I mean, that was it. We ran 250 yards on them. I just we just changed up of not throwing to Diggs and crap like that, but we just changed up to run because that's what the game conditions wanted us to do, of all the wind and the cold and shit. Excuse my language, Mom. So, all right. Well, I'm not gonna really. I never have tried to tell you guys or make you guys think that Buffalo's great and you're not. I always try to be sympathetic of our success, and I don't want. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that. So it's just, you guys are great teams, and you are the best. And Miami's got a real chance for the playoffs if San Diego doesn't win tonight. I mean, really, it's just, I'm really excited about the AFC East.
Me too.
No.
It was a great start to the season for a lot of us.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was exciting again. Now it's back to nail biting and
Hmm.
looking for help, and quarterbacks get knocked out, and
Yeah.
All of that, and then he also, and something that we failed to mention just now, is that this was through this win, Buffalo clinched the AFC East championship. So congratulations to Buffalo, and we also are also, I use them as the cover. That's what I was gonna say. The cover of this episode is the Buffalo Bills in their new T-shirts. So congrats to you, Paul, though, for being with the covering the winners here for the regular season. With that being said, Cincinnati beat New England on Saturday afternoon, and Cincinnati was just rolling over New England in the first half. The second half, not so much, and honestly, in the fourth quarter, that was exciting to watch as New England was really marching ahead there. It really came down to coughing up the ball at the end of the game. This is a game of turnovers. Turnovers is what made the difference, and it's that cold weather that we were bitching about back 10 minutes ago on this show. The cold weather of New England was causing a lot of dropped balls. Ramondre Stevenson was having a hard time keeping a hold of that, and that's what lost us the game, you could say. Except it was also amazing that we were there at all in the first place at the end of that game, because that first half went so poorly for New England that it really felt like
They should have won. New England should have won.
New England should have been able to take that win.
Yeah.
At the end, it really, like I said, came down to a fumble.
Yep.
well, at least you didn't at least you didn't like lose at the very end with like a stupid play.
Oh, you mean like last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it's been here for New England. The last 2 losses in a row have been losses that were very preventable. It's error is what's been killing us here.
It's not the Belichick way for sure.
No.
Well, certainly. Although Belichick really likes Ramondre Stevenson, the fan base likes him too. He's just got to kind of, I guess, work on that this week. I guess as far as work on maintaining the ball in the cold. I mean, cold weather really does affect play. You run it more, but you're also more liable to drop it, and it's like it's that old story of that northern weather. But the thing is that the New England's a northern team, so the players in New England do need to, that's kind of a work requirement when you're a running back for New England. So Ramondre Stevenson, I guess, has his homework this week, and Bill Belichick does practice in the cold when we're in this weather here. He does put him out in the cold.
He's in that job.
Yeah, they totally do in the cold because they're preparing for the cold game.
Yeah, he'll practice in the parking lot. He will. He's in that job.
Yeah, tackle, and then they hit the ground there. The old Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, that the former home to the Steelers, back prior to 2001, they had their field was basically concrete. Like it was just like this thin little layer of like green turf and just concrete right under that. And I guess the players used to just say it was like awful to get tackled on that.
Could you imagine just landing on that with that ice ball coming at you, and it's just brutal? Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly actually unsafe work conditions.
Yeah.
Is what I call that.
They don't get workman's comp, do they?
Clay char.
Well, to that note, I remember in the town of Ware, New Hampshire, and yes, everybody loves to say "Where's Ware," and I think I actually mentioned this on the show in season 1.
Yeah.
We used to have a field that we went to that had some ledge that poked out over the ground. So what did they do to resolve that issue? Well, they spray painted it orange. And this was in play. It was ledge that was in play, and they just spray painted it orange and went, try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's in public.
You're not liable when you break your leg.
I guess. Oh yeah. I mean, this is a public school system field. Like it was. Yeah. It's like that's tax dollars.
Yeah.
Got to save them tax dollars. Well, Green Bay. Kind of surprising what happened with Green Bay in Miami there, Jeff.
yeah, it was a great game until the second half. And
What the hell, Jeff?
what happened?
What happened?
You can't win when you turn the ball over 4 times,
Yeah.
and you have 3 interceptions on drives where you're going down to go ahead. I mean, 3 consecutive drives, interceptions. That's just ridiculous. But there might be a reason for that. They announced today that Tua is in the concussion protocol again. So he could have been out there second half, a little brain damaged, I guess, or influenced.
He's confused.
So,
I got you.
yeah.
All right.
So that came out today. So we'll see if he comes back next week, or we have our Teddy Bridgewater or Thompson or whatever the hell they decide to do. I don't know. They just kind of crap in the bed everywhere.
Jeff, you have a playoff spot if Cincinnati doesn't win tonight. You know that,
Not
right?
Cincinnati. No, it's the Colts and Chargers tonight.
Chargers, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a playoff spot all set up for you. How do you feel about that?
Right now, the whole fan base is pissed off that we can't just take care of our own business, that we rely upon other teams to do it for us. Good teams control their own destiny.
All right.
And we're on a 4-game losing streak. All we had to do was win one of them. So go 1-3. Now we got to play the Pats and the Jets, which aren't going to be easy games either. So could end up with a losing record again.
Yeah. So Yahoo Sports is they're talking about Tua here, and I guess Steve Young's come out as well as Robert Griffin III have all come out saying, actually many others coming out saying that they really think that Tua needs to shut down the season, and basically because he's the head is more important than finishing out this season. Gee, Jeff, but gee. He's having the season of his life. He's not going to stop. I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to heed that advice because I mean he came back after that first. That first
from Buffalo
concussion that was awful. But yes, that was against Buffalo, and that was like gore right there.
Well, the Cincinnati one was the bad one.
Okay, that's the one we're thinking of. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I think we're mixing up. When he had that fencing response and stuff, it was
that was Cincinnati.
Rough.
And then he was out 3 weeks. Then he came back, won some games,
and now he's back in. But they didn't take him out until after the game.
Then he lost some games.
I'm surprised he didn't come out until after the game. You'd think that it would have registered. His helmet would have registered it, or the spotters would have seen something. But it sounds like it wasn't until after the game that they could detect it. Or do you think there may be some amount of just letting it fly because we want our player to win?
Right.
Which is what's supposed to be done with. They're supposed to be done with that kind of thing. But I almost feel like that happened because he didn't go into concussion protocol until the game was completely over.
Can I ask you three something?
Sure, Paul.
Your seasons are basically over. I'm sorry, they are. How do you feel about the success of the AFC East, though, of being represented to us? I mean, really? Do you disagree that the AFC is predicated in Buffalo?
Predicated on Buffalo. Well, I think Buffalo. Well, right now Buffalo is really taking. I mean, their number one slot. They are the they have clinched the division. Where I'm looking here at the. And I'll bring it up for everybody to see here. I'm looking at
we have Cincinnati and we have KC, and that's what we're dealing with. I mean, are we going to root together for those two teams to fail?
Are we trying to ask us if we're going to root for Buffalo the next couple weeks?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. You've already clinched this.
Not the next couple of weeks. Maybe after for the playoffs.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
I tried.
So the first 5 slots for the AFC are clinched. As you can see, you got Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, and Ravens there. Of course, there can be some jostling within that. But then you got your other slots here. Jacksonville in the playoffs now. That's a change.
They're pretty good
over the Jets.
Yep.
Whatever.
Chargers. Hey, my Super Bowl pick. Hey, the Chargers are in. So maybe something will happen there. Miami in, as expected. Your first teams out, though, are Patriots and then Jets. So right now, no, they are not actually eliminated, but they are not. They're not out, but they're not doing great. Now, eliminated teams, we do have quite a few eliminated now. Rams are former last year's champions. They're eliminated. Kind of surprised that happened. The Houston, we knew that was coming. Bears were eliminated from the playoffs. They're through that. Cardinals, Broncos. The Broncos fired their head coach. We'll talk about that on Around the NFL. So there's your list. I mean, everybody can see it right there. So the Patriots are not and Jets aren't mathematically eliminated. They're just the first thing. They're the first ones out, though. So they're the first losers right now. Is really what you have going on as far as the playoff picture.
I don't like that terminology.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hey, I'm there too, Liz. So I understand. And coming in from Pittsburgh itself, we have
Hey.
Kaylee Santel. How is it going, Kaylee?
Paul, are you in the damn hot tub?
Yes, I am, Kelly.
God damn.
Okay.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
So, for
So-
those of you who don't know why I'm here, because I absolutely do not like football.
Yeah, huh?
It's like,
Yeah. So Kaylee, you're a NAFCo member.
I
You
am.
know that you got our NAFCO. That's one of our sponsors. It's AFC by NAFCO. You got NAFCO Logan behind me. Kaylee's one of our members. She is
Good now.
living in Pittsburgh, though.
I
Why
am.
did you choose to join today? I actually don't know. I know.
I just thought it'd be funny to have
Okay.
someone who knows
No.
nothing about football come on.
yeah, Perry, tell about her podcast.
Our podcast.
Your podcast.
Well, talk about you have your own show though, your own live stream itself
I
though, Kaylee. So
do.
you're also familiar to the format.
Yes, I am familiar with the format. Just I know nothing about football because my podcast, I am going to do a cheap plug, and no, I don't care.
Yeah, go
I'm
with it.
gonna be
That's what I'm pretty much giving you the opportunity for.
I have a podcast called Films and Fandoms with Kaylee. And
What's it
basically,
called?
Films and Fandoms with Kaylee is what it's called. Basically, I am live with my friend Alex and my partner Cameron, and we basically just talk about our favorite shows.
I loved Almost Paradise.
Wait, did you actually watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah, great show. Because of you.
Yes, Almost Paradise is amazing. Which season 2 has just wrapped up filming, so as soon as that airs, I'll probably be doing that. So
That's awesome. That's
Here, I'll
awesome.
see if I can pull up a link here real quick to your to your show here, Kaylee. Films and Fandoms with Kaylee.
yeah, with the symbol.
Oh, I'm trying. Here, I found it.
Yay.
Kelly, tell me what you're doing. Why are you in Pittsburgh?
Well, I originally came to Pittsburgh because I wanted to try my hand at acting.
Okay.
But that's not going so well right now because
You know you got family here, right?
yeah, I know I have family duos.
Okay.
The acting, well, I haven't really tried any of the acting yet because I got bills I need to pay, and
Okay.
I can't rely on just
Well-
acting to pay my bills.
We got your back if you need us. You know that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelly. It's always rough doing acting. I know but as a filmmaker, I see it from the other side. I mean, every time you accept somebody from an audition, they're completely ecstatic because it's very hard to get. It's basically auditioning is a full-time job.
Well, my thing is I would need to take off work to do a film shoot. So I need to get at least a month's rent saved up.
I hear what you're saying there. Yeah.
So I can it's a process.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt to have to pay
And-
bills. I totally agree with you there. I think there's many people that would do a lot more art
Yes, I
if they
have on a
didn't have
heated
to.
shock because I literally just got off work and I'm cold. So
Oh, you
so
guys,
it's just-
you got heat in your apartment though, right?
that drives up the electricity bill, Perry.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so it's electric there. I hear you.
Mhm.
So this is Kaylee's. This is her Facebook page here for this show, Films and Fandoms with Kaylee. You can go to facebook.com/films in fandoms, and that will bring you to it. And you can see here is her
I
show. That
will.
was 4 hours there when we were on together, and there's
Yeah.
me over there on her
Whose
show.
fault was that, Perry?
Yeah, a lot of it was me. I started to shut up eventually because I was just like this is starting to carry on.
You could-
About the last half hour, I was like,
If
I'm
you
just going to mute myself.
Freeze frame at a certain point,
Oh my
You
God.
can kind of see the look on my face where I'm kind of like yeah,
Uh,
carry on. Like we need to carry on.
yeah. How's your mom?
She's good.
Good.
So, okay, well, going into Pittsburgh, since we do have a Pittsburgh resident here, Las Vegas took a loss in Pittsburgh, 10-13. I was
Glad
very
wasn't
surprised.
home when that.
That's a great rejoinder,
Luckily,
Perry.
I got told I didn't. Let me tell you, Pittsburgh traffic after a game, especially trying
Yeah.
to get to airport for holidays after
Yeah.
a Pittsburgh game.
Oh, the airport near the airport, it gets
Yeah.
atrocious after the game.
Mhm.
That kind of makes some sense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you how many people go to those games that are not actually from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh does have a giant audience that is quite national, actually. It's known, like, there's like Pittsburgh Steelers bars all over the country.
You know why that is?
I don't fully understand.
They said that there's Steelers fans all over the country because when the steel jobs all of a sudden
Oh yeah, because Pittsburgh,
they had to move all over the country to get work. You know, they couldn't stay in the Pittsburgh area to do steel work because all of a sudden their jobs just were no more. So that's why there's Steelers fans all over the country because they had
and
to
that's
go
why
to find work.
Pittsburgh's called Steelers.
I got that.
Because
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was originally a steel mill, and that was the big commodity at the time.
I've known the Roonies for years from Florida because they own all the highway and gambling facilities in Florida. So I met the Roonies. They're pretty great people.
They own casinos in Florida?
Highlights and all, yeah.
Huh.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to sign off. My phones are blowing up, and I got to hit the road.
Yep, okay. Yeah, and you also have your police work to do there, Officer Mueller.
Oh, I didn't know you were a cop.
I don't know if
911. I'm a
Yeah.
911.
Are you an officer?
I am a 911 communications officer. I'm not a police officer. No.
Okay,
She's
but
not-
you're a but I'm a communications kind of guy.
There you go.
So you got the official, yeah, okay, and a communications officer.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Is that different from a dispatcher?
Yeah, I thought you were a dispatcher.
Yeah, but I do a lot more. I'm a senior communications officer. I do training. I do a lot more than the dispatcher. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Yeah.
but you're not the 911 call center person. You're at a police station
I-
itself.
same thing. We have police, fire, and EMS, and we all answer 911.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
misunderstood that. That works
Yeah.
differently than many other places. Then.
Yeah, we're a municipal dispatch center
Okay.
Yeah. rather than a communication center that handles multiple towns. We just have our town, which is 43 square miles. So it's quite busy sometimes, as it is
Gotcha.
as it is right now.
Okay. Well, you
So-
you go beat down the the
Okay.
citizens.
Okay, I will. Good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Night, Liz.
Nice meeting you.
You
Yeah.
too. Good luck with your show.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, and so anything more that we have to say about the Pittsburgh game this week?
Well,
I
the
thought-
Pittsburgh game, there was a couple things. Their quarterback's doing great. Their new wide receiver's doing great, and they had a Franco Harris. This was the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, and Franco actually passed away this week. So it was just kind of
Yeah, I did.
Ooh.
read
coincidence, I guess. Yeah. So
Jeff. He looked pretty good, healthy for 72, didn't he?
yep.
So what did he die of?
I don't know.
I mean,
Did you see there was that UFC player that was very healthy looking at died of a heart issue in he was only like 45.
what the hell's going
That
on?
happened this week as well.
I know. It's It's weird.
Well,
What do we need to eat better or whatever? I swear to God. I don't know. I'm just really upset that Franco died at 72, and I knew he had a bunch of years in him left. So I just wonder what happened.
I don't
it
know.
was
We're all
Stephen
walking old.
Bonner. Yeah, Stephen Bonner's who passed away. I'm actually not a big UFC
Yeah.
guy here, but here we'll show you. I want to show you this because it's like this is when you get talking about fitness level. I mean, gee, talk about taking care of yourself. This guy was fit as a whistle and passed away at 45 this week. So,
I
just
look
saying.
better. I look better than him.
You want to show off the abs there, Paul? You're already not wearing a shirt. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Kelly,
But thank you for that bit there, Jeff. What?
thank you for being here, Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Perry, for letting me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, check out the AFCeast.org. That's our website. You can learn more about us. NAFCo.org. That's our parent organization. And West PA Systems, your 21st century electrical contractor. Ma Media Works. They're a filmmaking studio in Warren, Pennsylvania. Contact them on Facebook to learn more.
Actually, you may
PerryFilm.com.
see me in an upcoming Ma Media Works production.
Oh, really? What's going on with that?
Awesome, a cool name.
Oh, you're doing an awesome
Shooting.
McCool name now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I did see a TikTok they released. They've changed some casting around.
Yeah.
I've
But
seen
I'm still
that.
Questus, so.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's a project that they have going. It's like kind of a I think he themes after a 40s or 40s radio show. Effectively, is what it kind of.
A bit, yeah. Like,
Perry.
is that a
There's your
core?
Ready Wise food supply. You're really into this. You want that? You're trying to call them a sponsor today, huh?
Because of our weather. It sucks. This is my 30-day food supply.
But did you have to dip into any of this?
No.
You haven't. Oh, okay.
Close.
You came close though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Anyhow, the around the NFL though, guys, I'll start off with around the NFL. The Denver Broncos fired their head coach today, which didn't surprise me at all. And right now I have to pull that up. Broncos. Nathaniel Hackett was his name, and he, lost the job. I'll add to that. Okay,
and they're paying Wilson a whole lot of money.
Well,
and
Wilson
gave
a
up a
whole
whole
lot
lot for him.
True, but the coach sucks. Like Paul Hackett or Nathaniel Hackett. Why does it say? Oh, his parent. Who's his dad? His parent gets a. I guess his father was a football coach as well. Did not know that.
Okay. I find it kind of ridiculous how much like athletes get paid.
Yeah, I hear you about that. I mean, I think what you run into though is that it's what the market ends up calling for.
Yeah.
So many people
Maybe it's just because I've worked minimum wage jobs all my life, and so like maybe I just have a different perspective.
Well, no, I hear what you're saying. I guess it's one of those things where you that most people. Well, I think though that you're working a minimum wage job, sure, but you're it's a skill. You're not providing a skill set. That basically it's just a matter of what are people willing to pay for that set of skills, I guess, right?
No, nobody wants to watch you work. We want to watch the NFL players work. That's why we buy the tickets. So we buy
out of freaking Hooters.
That's why we buy the Sunday packages, and
Hooters are great.
The market dictates the price.
Right, I need to watch.
Did you say you're trying to get a job at Hooters?
No, I said it would be different if
people would want to watch you work. Well, you'd probably get a little bit more minimum wage too through the tips, I guess. There, Kaylee.
And that's bullshit too. The freaking tipping system.
Yep. I agree.
Sorry,
I
this
agree.
is what happens when you watch an anti-capitalist show. You realize just
Well,
how fucked up the world is.
there's some truth to
Sorry.
that. Well,
So
there's just some
I'm
truth
tired
to
in my brain.
this.
This
I wouldn't
fried,
necessarily
so.
sit there apologizing for making commentary. But anything else around the NFL going on here? I discussed there. I mean, well,
No.
actually, I'll
Sorry.
continue on with Denver here. Nathaniel Hackett. When I've tuned in and watched some of these games that he put up, and it was, I believe it was week 2. I was watching Denver, and they were awful. I ended up getting rid of Jerry Jeudy off of my fantasy team because of just how poor the play was. I could just tell that like he was underproducing. I held on to Jerry Jeudy for the first 8 weeks of the season, and he was underproducing every single game from over based on his projected output. And that's because if you watch the games though, it was like it seemed like the play calling felt off and not like well drawn up plays. That really is how I felt about it. And then also the time they could not manage the clock. They had no clock management skills, and they were losing timeouts left and right because of disorganization. Because they couldn't get the play off the sideline fast enough, so they were having to. Russell Wilson was having to suck up timeouts. So that's just bad football, and it's mental errors that they're making, and they're doing this. They were doing that basically all season long. So the next thing you know, they're 4-11, and they have fired Nathaniel Hackett. So I think there's some promise for Russell Wilson and the Broncos to be a good team next year, but the front offices of Denver botched it when it comes to selecting a head coach this past offseason.
Is it a mental thing, or is it just everyone's trying to be a showman?
It's a mental thing. So this would be a case where basically they just didn't. It was an organization, which goes to mental. As far as it's not like somebody dropped the ball. It's not physical mistakes. It's mental as far as them literally not having the play call onto the field soon enough.
They're
to actually snap the ball.
disorganized. They're disorganized.
Guys,
They don't game plan.
guys.
What,
Everybody
Paul?
was supposed to win last week. Did not win.
This is why I don't watch football, just because I don't understand it.
Everybody's supposed to win. Did not win. Well, except Buffalo.
I've got pulled up the whole AFC East. The teams that are going to the playoffs are on winning streaks. The Bills, 6 games in a row. Bengals, 7 games in a row. Jaguars won 3 games in a row. All the teams that are going to the playoffs that weren't in the playoffs possibly are winning at the right time. The Chiefs, 3 games in a row. The Dolphins lose 4 in a row. Could lose 6. Could finish out the season losing the final 6 games and miss the playoffs.
Who was
Sign
that?
of a good team, sign of a bad team.
Who is that took 6 losses?
The Dolphins could. We could lose 6 games in a row.
Potentially, I see what you're saying.
Potentially,
there.
yeah.
And when I look here at these standings, I see the Packers listed at 10th. There's a lot of talk today on the internet after that win over Miami. There's a lot of talk around the internet.
Base fan.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cameron from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Cam's from Wisconsin.
That makes some sense.
Which was very interesting when I went up to their house for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you went up to Wisconsin for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I spent the whole week in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. I've never been to Wisconsin. Did you have any Wisconsin cheeses?
No, and I freaking should have. I love
cheese.
You
forgot, didn't you? You forgot. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
gonna have to yell at them about that. Why they did it? Why they let me go home without any Wisconsin cheese?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when you live it all the time, it becomes like a mundane aspect of your life. If you're
I was just
always
joking around.
no, but I'm serious. I think that somebody,
Yeah.
I think it becomes mundane to somebody. There's things around here that become mundane to us that are
Yeah, it's
kind of
like living
abnormal.
right in Pittsburgh.
Everything, Perry, everything.
Steelers stuff freaking everywhere.
The well, one of the yeah, Steeler stuff everywhere. One thing that like Pittsburgh has is like the need for fries in this every salad.
Hey,
French
fries and
fries.
salad's good.
I guess when I moved
I
here,
haven't had a
I had
proper salad like that in forever.
so yeah, so basically, if you leave Western PA, they don't put French fries on salad as a given. In Western PA, if you order a salad, it's like a given that there's going to be some French fries all in that. And I actually personally don't find it to be all that great. I'm gonna say it honestly. I find it to be like, oh, it's just kind of this unnecessary thing in here. I didn't really want deep fried crap in my salad.
Well, if it's like soggy, then maybe.
See, that's the thing. A lot of times you end up with like soggy, cold fries and stuff kind of
Yeah.
mixed in there. It's like not always
If you
that
do it
great.
properly, it's good.
I think it's done if it's done properly. Maybe it is. I think that's probably the issues. I've never had it done right.
Lasky, buddy.
I'm
The
sorry.
Pulaski in New Boys has some
Pulaski.
good stuff.
Oh my god, I haven't had their stuff in forever.
Yeah.
Jeff like died. We lost Jeff.
Where did Jeff go? Can you just get this?
Oh, Jeff went into the pit of
Do you
abyss.
have
Oh
the
my!
Jets
Now
on
that
your hot tub?
wow, that'd be great if we didn't hear it.
Oh my god.
Actually, if you put your headset back on, it might actually work out.
Oh my god.
That's kind of entertaining, though.
I'm just jealous.
Yeah, it's just cold weather, and he's got this hot tub, and he has this thing in his living room, by the way. That
Why
or
do you
not
have
his
the
living
hot tub
room.
in
It's
your
like
living
it's
room?
well, I don't know if it's you want to call it living room. It's the first room when you enter in to his house. There's just this.
Mudroom?
Yeah, well, it's a mudroom, I guess, kinda. I don't know. Is that do you call that a mudroom that you have your hot tub in there?
No, it's my second living room.
You
Second
have two
living
living
room.
rooms.
I have 2 living rooms.
Yeah.
I only got
houses.
one, and that's my freaking kitchen.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Do you have? I guess you probably have like a bedroom off to
Yeah,
the side.
bedrooms down that way.
Oh, I see. Huh.
This house is built in 1924, and it's it's 800 square feet. It's not small, but it's not big. So it's just I have a single living room. And that's it. There's a hot tub. I have nice stuff. I have a decent room for the main living room. So,
Yeah, I'm just jealous.
well, Kelly, we do a party here once a year, right? Well, Perry, we do a party here.
I like how you just said that to Kaylee, and Kaylee's like, I guess.
I don't know. I don't think I was invited to the last one.
You know what? Jeez, shut up.
You were invited. It was just you were invited to the last 2 of them. You just this last one you weren't. You were down in Pittsburgh though, so I think that kind of.
It's a NAFCo friend thing, and it's just that
Oh,
what we
I
do.
don't remember.
Well
I either was probably working or
forever
setting
from
up
now on,
moving.
you're invited to the NAFCO, Paul, and actually Perry party. Because Perry's a big part of it. And
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, didn't you guys stream it?
Yes, we did. We had White Feather there actually
Oh
playing.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she played. It was
We're
good. It was a good time.
Yep.
So
Well, you should have seen the performance we put on at my last episode of Films and Fandoms with Kaylee.
the performance you put on or performance I put on?
All of us put on because it was me, you, and Alex. And Alex is my best friend and also the co-host of one of the co-hosts of the podcast, and she's one of my best friends.
Awesome.
That's how we bonded, was through our love of media, and particularly an actor, Christian Kane. So one of the things that happened in the last podcast episode we did was you made the mistake, Perry made the mistake of playing The House Rules by Christian Kane. And we were all jamming out, and then at the very end, you played Two Tickets to Paradise.
Oh yes, it was a good time. It was a good time.
It was a good time.
Let's move over to week 17, though, shall we?
Yes.
Let's talk about Buffalo at Cincinnati, Paul, since we have you here. And apparently not Jeff right now. I don't know what happened with Jeff.
Jeff, have you messaged him?
I did. I said, come back, and he said, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah.
Did he not like me there?
I don't know. Hopefully not. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of piss people off sometimes.
You're really not that bad, Kaylee. I don't know. I don't know what's going on
I
with
rub
Jeff.
my mouth a lot.
Maybe he I don't know. Maybe he had an accident.
Kelly.
He's like trying to wipe himself up.
Kelly. Buffalo, Cincinnati, probably the biggest game of the year for the whole NFL. Tell me how you feel about it.
I don't see this as necessarily the biggest game of the year. I see this as a challenging game, but I don't necessarily think it's even that 100% challenging. It is. It's.
Did I ask you?
Yo, you wanted Kaylee to know. You actually want. I figured. Well, I don't know if he meant that for Kaylee in that way. Kaylee, yeah. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I know Buffalo. It's a good city. Lots of snow this time of year.
Right.
Cincinnati is my grandpa's team.
Yeah. Icky Woods.
So
Yeah.
we've been to Cincinnati, or I think I've been to Cincinnati myself. But
You know, Cincinnati is almost out of Ohio, right? You know that, right?
I think it might have been more Cleveland then.
It's like Indiana.
I'm horrible with geography.
I mean, it's in Ohio, but you're saying because you're recognizing that it's right on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been to Indiana too. Now, granted, that was when I was like 6. So.
All right, Perry, what do you think?
Well, I am thinking that this is going to be a Buffalo win. I do. Because Cincinnati showed a lot of cracks last week against New England. Sure, they got the win.
Second half.
But the second half was really flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah, New England was able to pretty much kind of do what they wanted during the second half, except not when they actually end up coughing up the ball. But be that as it may, Buffalo, I think, has a really legitimate shot. Oh, excuse me. Didn't get much sleep last night. A really legitimate shot at this game. I really do. Even though Cincinnati's returning champs, well, I think Buffalo has a little something extra up its sleeve on this one.
They have 9 days to prepare for it too. So,
This is the first time I feel like the odd man out.
go ahead.
Because I don't bring anything intelligent to the conversation.
Yes, you can.
Like, at least when you came on, Perry, we had an intelligent conversation.
Well, I did my research, is what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling it intelligent conversation.
Well, we got into some interesting topics. A couple of them turned inappropriate, which is what usually happens on the podcast, and what happens when you put myself, Alex, and my partner Cameron all of us who don't have filters and enable each other to the highest level. And then you just throw in Perry.
And sometimes Jeff though will actually come on. Jeff from our show, he's come on to your chat and started
Yes, come
blabbing about stuff. In some cases, it was like, "Wow, Jeff, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
really the
'cause-
place for this." He's just like,
yeah.
"Hey, so any women here?" Like that's kind of what he does. Any
Well, I
women looking
mean-
to fuck? And you're just like, I can tell you're just sitting there like, I don't understand why
I
this
was
is.
like, what the
Jeff.
fuck are you guys talking about?
It's pretty entertaining though.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point is we come to have a good time. As the house rules state, better come to have fun. Don't take kindly to serious. So leave your troubles at the door unless you want some in here. So yeah.
That's good. I am trying to find my show notes here
Let's
in
try.
order to put in our predictions.
No, let's do our predictions for the week.
Well, yeah, sure.
Buffalo's got a big game next Monday night, and really, I mean, it's a big game. It's probably the biggest game of the year. As far as what happens to AFC East, what happens to AFC standings, and everything else with Cincinnati and Buffalo.
So are they tied standings wise? Let me check that real quick.
But they can go in front of Buffalo if they beat them.
If you see me looking down, that is because I'm actually messaging Alex right now. I'm messaging Alex right now because they're watching the audio comment. They just got the Leverage DVDs for Christmas.
Okay.
So they're watching the audio commentary and they're messaging me their reactions.
Well, that's awesome. What did it say?
To it. What, Leverage?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fantastic TV show.
Awesome.
It's basically you take five people, each with a particular skill set. Like you have your hitter, who is actually I have two
hitter.
posters up.
They have those in the NFL.
I believe they're NHL. They're called enforcers. Anyways.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, there's nobody really called a hitter in the NFL. I'm just saying.
I know.
Defensive players.
Well, isn't that what you do when you tackle?
Yeah. Exactly.
So wouldn't that make everyone hitters?
Effectively, yeah. I mean, effectively everybody except for the kickers, punters, and long snappers and quarterbacks.
Coaches.
And it's basically you take five people with different backgrounds: hitter, hacker, grifter, thief, and a mastermind.
What's a hitter supposed to be in your show? On Leverage.
Basically, he beats the crap out of everyone.
Oh, he is actually.
But ironically, I'm not going to get into my analysis of. But basically, that's Elliot's job description. That's him.
Have you played Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh.
He basically punches out security and protects everyone.
Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
But I know the idea, and I think I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. Okay.
The various roles you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hacker does all the tech stuff, and freaking love Hardison. Thief, Parker, basically can steal anything. Grifter, Sophie, can act and can play any man like a fiddle and could read anyone.
Is there randomized dice or is there something or whatever?
Oh, for D&D.
Yeah, it's not. It's a show, Paul.
It's a show.
No, but no, I'm talking. No. Okay, you know what I mean.
We don't.
I don't. I miss.
We're all going. I don't know what
I
you
don't
mean.
know.
Are you trying to say that
Yeah.
there's dice in D&D?
No, there is dice in D&D, but there's
Yes.
also randomization first in the concept.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. So, who's asking?
Yeah.
Week 17, Buffalo at Cincinnati.
Yes, sorry. Anyways,
All right.
leverage.
What
Good show.
What do we have here?
Watch it.
It's a big game. Probably the biggest game of the year for the NFL on Monday Night Football. ESPN.
Well, that's great. It's Monday Night Football. Okay. So that means next week we will be casting out on Tuesday, by the way.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
I really, the game, as far as the points, are even. And
I feel like I should probably go.
Cincinnati's going to win. Because they have the momentum. Buffalo doesn't.
So your pick is Buffalo on this?
No, it's Cincinnati.
It's Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really have momentum. They got lucky. I'm picking Buffalo myself
All right.
here for this one. What are you picking there, Kaylee? Since you're here, you should make a pick.
See, I don't know enough stats to make a choice with stats.
So make a choice as a fan. Maybe pick your favorite outfit.
I'm just gonna go with Cincinnati because that's my grandpa's team.
There you go. Okay, so we'll put Cincinnati under Kaylee here. See how this pans out. Okay, New York is going to Seattle this weekend. I heard, there's been these changes in New York with Mike White coming in. I see that they have some problems, but I see it. Honestly, I'm going to go with New York myself, just from the fact that they're going to bring back Mike White. I've been very pro Mike White this entire cast, or this entire season rather, and I think that that's going to be a key to success for New York. Really, is to play Mike White and bench Zach Wilson. They are making that move. I'm going to actually give that 2 thumbs up and go with New York on this one. Seattle's not a powerhouse this year. They're okay. They really are, but they're not a powerhouse. So I think it's viable for New York to get this win, and so that's what I'm going with.
I think Mike White is the right choice. It's going to happen, and I think Jets are the powerhouse over Seattle.
Okay, so you're going with New York?
Yep.
Okay. What are you going with there, Kaylee? Seattle or New York?
I'm going to go with Seattle because I love a good underdog story.
They're fairly evenly matched, actually.
I think it would be funny.
Okay, you think it would be funny?
Stay in Seattle for the hell of it, then they end up winning.
Wait, if you pick funny, I'm going to switch my pick. So I always like funny.
Oh, wow. So we're going to go over to Seattle now?
Yeah. Just because it's funny.
That's all it takes. All right. Well, Miami is coming to New England. That's going to be our division matchup game. That's going to be critical. Critical for New England to take a win here, because if they don't win here, you are potentially looking at being eliminated from the playoffs at this point. I think they need the win. I think Tua is going to be out. They're going to be home in New England, and so I am going to take New England on this. Mostly because Tua is going to be out on concussion protocol, due to concussion protocol. Some debate on whether or not he's coming back this season, although I think he will, but that's kind of nor here nor there because we're talking about week 17. So they're probably going to be playing Teddy Bridgewater, and although they have a great team, they're not going to have their dynamite quarterback under center. I do think, though, that New England has its problems, but they can being in New England as well, I can see a win coming out for New England on this one. Paul, what do you think?
Sure. I believe in your team. I think he'll do it. I know their momentum's been killed a little bit, but really, I think he has got it. I think he has the juice. So I'm with you on that.
Really, wow. Jeff's going to be surprised to hear that, although maybe not completely, because I mean he's aware of the situation himself there. Kelly, your thoughts?
I mean, I know you're a New Englander,
Yes.
Perry. So safe choice would probably be to go with New England.
Ask to say, how's the chatter
The Chowda?
at the chatter at the airport? Sorry.
Surprisingly, I've never been to Maine, or I've never been to New England. I have been to Maine, but I've never been like Massachusetts. I've never been.
Yeah, Maine's in New England.
Yeah,
It's those states. So it's Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
so I have been.
Yeah, any of those places. That's all New England.
Yes,
It's that basically the states are small, so they
Yeah.
end up with basically the sort of Boston area team. Which, I mean, the Patriots play in Foxborough, just kind of, which is effectively a suburb of. It's about an hour's drive out of Boston,
Oh.
and so it's not in there, but it's not in Boston proper, but they so all those surrounding states the states are small enough that it's like the equivalent for where I grew up to go down to Foxborough for a game is about the same distance from here, Du Bois, to Pittsburgh. So so even though you cross state lines up in New England, you're still like kind of local to some extent. So you end up with kind of a New England culture versus a state by state, or even with this state so big that it supports two franchises with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Kelly, you drive from here to Sykesville, and you're going from New Jersey to New York or to Connecticut.
I have been to Times Square.
It's that close. So, yeah. Anyway. Oh, new sponsor, Port Wine.
Port wine, just port wine cheese. I haven't had any port wine cheese this holiday season. How did that become a tradition that we just? It's like, oh, there's this kind of cheese that just comes out during the holidays.
No.
I'm not actually sure how that happened. Well, anyway, that's a research project for another day. Kaylee, what's your pick on this game?
I'm gonna go with New England.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so it's unanimous right now for New England, which is surprising to me, with Miami being, the number 2 team in the division right now. It's surprising to me to hear everybody really kind of going with New England. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore is a solid team. I'll go right here right now and say I believe that this is going to be a Baltimore win. Baltimore is a solid team, and they're at home. There's no reason that Pittsburgh, sure, they've been winning some games, but can they beat Baltimore in Baltimore? No, I don't believe that that's the case right now.
Sorry, I defaced it. Just ignore me for the next couple minutes.
Okay, Kaylee.
Baltimore does not have a quarterback.
Sorry, this is what happens.
Oh, wait. Is Lamar Jackson out? I didn't realize this.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so that really changes things, doesn't it? Wow. I did not have my shit together when I came into that. Well, there is some thoughts that there's some thoughts that he may come back, but John Harbaugh, they're saying he's being very tight-lipped about the whole matter. So, as far as him coming back, yeah, they're listening to him kind of day to day. So, I guess we'll see. So if Jackson does play, I'm definitely giving this to Baltimore. But I guess I'm going with Baltimore either way. I'm going with Baltimore either way, just because it's Baltimore and they're in Baltimore, and Pittsburgh has been doing much better, but they got their issues.
I'm all about Pitt.
Okay,
What?
you're gonna take Pitt.
What are you, Kelly?
Well, I mean, I got to go with my hometown pride, Pittsburgh.
That makes some sense. You come streaming right from there. Are you in Pittsburgh proper?
Like beside downtown.
Really? I'm
Yeah,
surprised
like not
you
too
can
far.
afford a place at all, Kaylee. I don't mean that rudely. What I mean
No.
is, I'm always afraid to move to a city to some extent because of these rent prices.
There was a book called "Who Moved My Cheese?" Well, I dropped my cheese. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay.
But I'm guessing though that you make a little more money than actually minimum
No.
wage down there.
Well,
No?
I make right now. I'm making like $13.75 an hour.
Oh, you're moving up in the world. Wasn't
Yeah,
trying to get you
But my
to
rent's bills are like 1,200 a month.
1,200. Wow. So it really is just like, it's just basically just having less expendable income to be in the city at that point then.
Kelly,
Yeah.
on all these jobs locally around here.
Why do you think I've been pushing the Ko-Fi page?
I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's your Ko-Fi?
It's Ko-Fi. It's at Films and Fandoms. Should I put the link?
Oh, you can put the link over there in the comments here on the stream here. That would be a good way to do that. So, okay. Well, closing statements here. Anything? So yeah. Give us that Ko-Fi. It's perfect for closing statements. Paul, man, I'm glad that you're bringing back the hot tub. I think it's actually not a bad look.
I'm just jealous. Okay, here's
hot tub streaming. Those very popular on Twitch as a whole, and I always find that very entertaining. But that's a loophole for women to be in bikinis on stream, is what it is, to raise their viewership.
Right.
So they figured out, because you weren't supposed to wear bikinis and swimwear like that. So then they on the stream they were saying it was just kind of too blatantly, lewd, is what they said back at one point. So then the models figured out, oh, but it's okay if we're actually doing a hot tub stream. And so they figured out this loophole that if they put a hot tub in there in the room, there just needs to be a hot tub like in the room, and now it's okay for them to be in a bikini, and it's a whole loophole thing.
Well, I'm wearing boxer briefs, and I'm not going about like Jeff does. So, and I got the red light on, so it's not a porno, but it could be.
Yeah, I guess maybe we should start having AFC East by NAFCo on my free cams.
My mom lives across the street, and I have to be good. Anyway, peace out.
all I'm saying is it would have been funnier talking about Almost Paradise, which takes place at a beach, takes place in paradise on the beach with umbrella drinks.
Yes, absolutely. No, really, that's a great thing you did. Fantastic. I'm a fan.
Well, I mean, having this face to look at is shit. Having this face to look at is kind of like paradise. So
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't tell Cam I said that.
Wow. Well, it's wow.
Their face is nice too.
Hey, you've had comments though. You've said some stuff about some actors right on the show with Cam there.
Is Cam your boyfriend?
Mostly because Cam has the same thoughts, so it's totally fine.
Well,
What was that, Paul?
is Cam a cool dude?
They're not a dude. They are non-binary and use they them pronouns.
All right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
And sometimes when we talk about some moments on the show, it is fairly obvious that I am not straight. So, yeah.
All right, I mean personal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Trust me, I have said a lot worse.
Okay. Well, you guys have a good week. We'll hopefully talk on next Tuesday.
Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Well, yep.